Since 2007, each new iteration of EA's NHL series has been a marked improvement over its predecessor. From the introduction of the skill stick in 2007 to the arrival of Be a Pro mode last year, the series has added and tweaked its features to the point where many wondered if the series had any more room to grow. Luckily, those fears were unfounded, and NHL 10 is a huge improvement over last year's already fantastic game. While the skill stick controls have remained largely unchanged from last year, there is one new key feature to the control scheme. Pressing the Y button near the boards will pin a puck or puck carrier on the boards. Scrums along the boards have long been ignored by hockey video games, but EA has done a great job of representing those struggles here. When skaters are pinned to the wall, they'll trap the puck between their skates, attempting to maintain control. Opponents can attempt to poke check the puck out of their control, or check the puck handler into the wall to try to free it up. It's a great new feature that helps to make the game feel more authentic, and one that's bound to appear in every hockey game from now on. While every position has received an upgrade in AI, it's most apparent in the play of goaltenders. No longer the simpletons of the previous games, goalies are now far more aware of their surroundings and will make second and third effort stops, swat pucks out of the air, and even dive for desperation saves. Goalies tend to play more like their on-ice counterparts as well, and more aggressive netminders are more likely to try to come out of the net to cut off shot angles, make poke check attempts, and handle the puck. These new features work so well because of the game's all-new physics system. For the first time, NHL 10's pucks move just as realistically as its players. Every carom, bounce, and roll of the puck feels 100% natural, unlike previous games where rebounds would fly off of goalies' pads at odd angles. Players' interactions with the puck are more lifelike as well. You'll often see players kick pucks to their sticks when receiving an off-target pass, and even fan on one-timers when appropriate. This makes scoring far more faithful to the real sport, and allows and even demands that players set up realistic offenses instead of constantly crashing the net or finding a magic spot from which to shoot. All the standard game modes you've come to expect make their return in NHL 10, including Be a Pro mode. The single skater mode that took us by storm last year is back and better than ever, with an improved dynamic camera and smarter AI teammates. There's also a Be a GM mode, which allows players to take over behind the scenes of an NHL franchise, but it feels a bit shallow and tacked on. Fortunately, NHL 10's creation modes fare much better, especially the surprisingly intuitive and effective Play Creator. During games, created plays will show up as blue paths on the ice, allowing you to utilize predetermined strategies without slowing the game down in the least. NHL 10's presentation is every bit as impressive as its gameplay. Visually, the game represents a solid step forward from last year's already great-looking title. Character models look better than ever, especially players' jerseys, which are detailed down to the stitch. While arenas themselves haven't changed much, there are more varied and natural-looking fans populating them, adding to the overall feel of the game. Amazingly, the game may sound even better than it looks, with unique crowd chants for every NHL team, and every screaming slap shot, crushing body check, and ring off the post sounding identical to what you'd hear in the arena. Bill Clement and Gary Thorne provide the play-by-play, and with a few glaring exceptions,
well, that's a block shot. Give him one even though he didn't intend to do it.
It's very good. There are even language-specific play-by-play tracks for the different European leagues, meaning that Russian teams have their goals and assists announced in Russian. A small touch like this speaks volumes about the game's level of polish. As a reviewer, I must look at games with a highly critical eye, deliberately seeking out flaws, glitches, and overall shortcomings. I'm happy to report that NHL 10 is a nearly flawless title. Only the most cynical and jaded gamers will take issue with any of the game's extremely minor problems. With NHL, AHL, International, and European League teams on the roster, along with unlockable, or purchasable if you're a cheater, skill upgrades, there's no shortage of content, meaning many fans will easily get a full year's entertainment out of it. NHL 10 is hands down the best hockey game ever made. It's not even close. Whether you consider it the best sports game of all time depends largely on your preference of sports, but in any discussion of the best sports game ever, NHL 10 must be in the argument. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check Gamervision.com for the full text review.